The more you know. Hey!
We made it.
Wow! We made it! Welcome to the town hall for the month of April 2022 for Concrete CMS. It is a pleasure to be here. We are coming in fast and furious. Andy just lost a monitor, apparently.
Yeah, it's I went to turn it on, and yeah, just this weird gray tessellated pattern. I don't think that is not, in my lifetime with electronics, that type of thing. It's not a good sign. Flickering, then turning to nothing. So yeah,
It's been a minute since
exciting.
that monitor showed up in your life, though.
Yeah,
So that's how it
I have
goes
some
these
spares,
days.
so it's good.
Anyways, here we are doing the news you can use from Concrete CMS. I think this month's town hall is going to be pretty speedy. We're trying to keep these, respectful of everyone's time and really just hit the news that we've got and do some kind of breakout videos for other stuff. So, jumping right into the news of what has happened since we chatted last a few weeks ago. We did a big community stack push, as seems to be the norm for the last, quarter or two. A lot of it's behind the scenes, upgrading stuff to 9.02 and that kind of thing, just best practices that we should be on our own latest version. But we did update the documentation site layout. Got that. I don't have that shared, but still, pretty cool. Got that nav switched over, got some line spacing fixed up, did a little bit of cleanup there. So I'm sure there will be more in the future, but on a path to a better place there. And we will be moving the security announcements and core release announcements out of the blog at concretecms.com and into a new blog at concretecms.org. That is something that we needed to do, so under the hood changes to be able to support, but now we've done those, so that can get back on our to-do list. That is going to be a good move for a number of reasons, not the least of which is we will be able to send a CISO or CIO from an organization that is interested in knowing, hey, I don't really care about 7 tips for setting up an SSL, but I do care about your core releases and security issues, so can I follow just that? So that'll be over in the .org. Also, the .org is the first of these sites in our kind of network of sites that we are hoping to be able to fully translate with our regional partners, and strikes us that translating the core releases and security announcements is a lot more important than translating, whatever the latest content marketing stuff might be. That's kind of geared for a U.S. market, so let's let it split those out. That is news from the community stuff. The other bit of news, I don't think we talked about this last month. 9.1.0
I don't think so.
is coming out before too long. Got a release candidate in the works.
Yeah, we do have a release candidate in the works. Want to do that sooner rather than later, so expect to see that soon, the release candidate. Amongst many changes and a couple new features and some improvements is a lot better support for PHP 8 across the board. Just tightening up a lot of errors that kind of reared their ugly heads once people started upgrading under the hood to PHP 8. So expect to see that coming soon. There are a lot of changes in there. Nothing major that will change the way that you use Concrete, but if you look at the list of changes, it's rather extensive. So as always, we would love help testing that and expect to see that release candidate coming very soon.
Awesome. Very cool. I think that's all the news to use that I remember, at least. Shall we move ahead into the thank you section of our town hall?
Let's do it.
Excellent. So every month we take a moment to thank everybody who is actively helping make the web a better place by working on Concrete CMS. There are many ways to help. There's folks who are really just active in GitHub. There's folks that are helping people build small sites in the forums. There's people doing promotion, inserting new issues. It is a rich tapestry of opportunity, and we're thankful to each and every one of you. Some of the people who jumped out and we wanted to give some nods to this month include Biplop5 and Hishi in the documentation for submitting some new documentation stuff. Andy, do you want to do code and GitHub issues?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you to everyone helping to get 910 ready for release, and that includes that includes Hishi, Dan Clausen, John the Fish, A Jenkins Dev, Deke87, Heflemy, M Locati, and some members of the Portland Labs crew as well. That's for code that's been submitted to the core in the last month, and for issues which have been coming in fast and furious, which is always appreciated, just to keep the velocity up, shows that people are thinking about hard problems and care about the direction of the core. Thank you for that. Issues are coming from the likes of P. Vernaglia, Masuva, CCM and Lil, Exa 18, I am Pedro Piedad, Dan Clausen, Heflemy, N5TS, M. Locati, Click Park Dominic, T2, John the Fish, Hishi, Deke87, B. Saladin, Mel, BTA Vass C, Morier, Spectred, Rick Zuderlicht, Luigi 23N, Nikki Clausen, Katz Uno, Bloody Iron, Kurt Koonin, Catalysis, and the core team as well. So thank you everyone for keeping the velocity up in GitHub. It is appreciated, and also thank you for keeping on me when I getting back to me when I post to your issues out of the blue, because sometimes I've been going through not just the most recent issues, but issues of a historical nature as well. So you might see me popping up on an issue that hasn't gotten any traction in years at this point. And frequently people will come right back and add context to those issues, even if we've been quiet on them for a long time. So thank you for that. And we're going to keep up the pace on GitHub as well. Expect to see those issues continue to be dealt with or updated or merged or closed. And thank you to everyone.
Awesome. Yes, thank you. We still care. They still care. It'll get done.
I know it's great.
It'll take a long time, but it's cool to have that out there. Thank you, everybody. Now we are going to go into the special Golden Baton. Once a month, a community member takes the Golden Baton and passes it on to another important active community member. Last month it was Derek with the team in Japan. And I have a video from him now that I will queue up, and we will learn who has won the Golden Baton for this month. Let's see.
Everyone, my name is Derek from Mackerel Digital in Japan, all the way over here. So I guess for some people who don't know me, I mainly work in GitHub, or you'll see me on Slack sometimes. You definitely won't see me in the forums. I'm not there that often. Working on things like the new editor, the interactive block editing system you'll be getting to see, and as well as making sure Concrete 5 runs on PHP 8 and above. So please, for the next version, try it out, download the latest version from GitHub and give it a shot. I want to say thank you for the Golden Baton. I guess I've got to pass it on to the next person. And so the next person is somebody else who's in the GitHub space, as it were. That's Michael Haflinger. Sorry for butchering the pronunciation, or Haflemy. He's somebody who's been helping out with the finding issues in version 9, as well as making pull requests to make the core better. So passing the baton over to you.
Awesome. Very cool.
That's great.
Yeah. Active GitHub member, not particularly active in the forums that I remember, but cool to see just kind of how many different ways folks can contribute and help move the core forward. So
yeah, this is interesting because it might benefit from actually showing what an interaction between these two folks. Let me see if I can find something real quick. So this is a recent GitHub issue. So you can see this was open 13 days ago, and it has been closed with the merged status. And you can see what we have here is we have a very well thought out, very thorough, measured description of a situation or a problem or a potential solution, things that could be better. And also a reason why we might want to do something like that. We've got people chiming in almost immediately, a good spirited back and forth. not a lot of like dissent necessarily, but people figuring out the best way forward on this particular issue. And then you see Derek starts to work with Michael here, and this just kind of continues. And Derek actually takes the lead on this issue for version 9, and you can see that here, and that got merged in. And with version 8, we kind of take a tack of less is more these days. We're still adding security fixes to it. Small enhancements to it we're considering too, but nothing major. But we did, this is a very low risk and potentially nice little quality of life improvement for the core. So we thought it might make sense to have it be added into version 8 as well. And so you can see Haflinger follows up with his own pull request for version 8 here. And they both got merged in. And so this is a really nice example of just real collaboration happening in GitHub. You know, it's not a panacea. It's not going to solve all your problems for you, but you can definitely see two developers working together to get something done in a really kind of cordial and civil way.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, very cool. I love the kind of the community nature of the Golden Baton versus the way we used to do this ages and ages ago and totally random with the karma generator. It's just really cool to see kind of some of how the ecosystem works that, you know, clearly you're very privy to and I'm not, Andy. So that's cool. Yeah. Congratulations, Michael. Haflinger. Hey, I don't know. It's got an umlaut over the A, right? So it's like you say E, but Haflinger.
Yeah, Haflinger. Maybe.
Well, why don't you let us know how to say your name? We'll reach out to you, and you get $250 of marketplace credit. So if there's ever an add-on or theme that you wanted to check out but you didn't, now you get the opportunity to for free. And we'll be reaching out with congratulations, and also you should be thinking about who would you like to pass the baton on to, who has helped make Concrete important and useful for you. Awesome. Okay, now we will pivot actually over to the community at concretecms.com, and we will check in with the PRB for new add-ons and themes that have been submitted and approved in the last month. So let me cue that up, I think, right here.
Hello everyone, we're back on to new releases this month. All are version 9 ready, and most also work with version 8. You can check the marketplace for the fine details on that. Our first add-on is Mackerel Security Header Extended by Concrete Japan, or Mackerel as they're now rebranding. This is free in the marketplace and it's very straightforward in principle. What it does is configure and insert cross-origin and allow origin headers at the top of every web request. So this helps prevent some types of security attacks, and with browser generations getting more picky about cross-origin files and content, it may be useful to keep a site running when you really do want content from some other origins. And as I said, the add-on's free. Our next add-on is Two-Step Authentication Advanced by Noor. Noor had a previous two-factor authentication add-on in the marketplace, and this add-on improves on that, hence advanced. And this add-on is configurable with two-factor authentication by any of email codes, email links, and assortments of Android and iPhone apps. Depending on your location, some kinds of website are now required by law to implement two-factor authentication. This add-on is a slick and easy way to set that up, so I can see it being very useful. It's also designed for extension, so further two-factor authorization messages could be added within the package or by others in the future. It is coded red or expert in the marketplace, but don't let that mislead you. It's only red because it has to override and extend some core authorization classes. And if the core classes provided suitable hooks for extension and thus negated the need for overrides, this add-on would be green. It's that easy to configure. Marketplace price is $95. Now we have Product Rdf Block. Rdf means Resource Description Framework, and it's a way of adding extra structured data to a web page. Product Rdf Block is from Steve B, and it provides a block for adding RDF data for a product. There are other ways that you can use RDF data, but this is specific to Product Rdf data. That product data could be standalone or used in conjunction with a shop such as Community Store. And just an observation, the marketplace listing here is misconfigured. This block is actually compatible with version 9. The RDF content is hidden from view, but gets picked up by search engines and aggregators and used to structure their listings. The marketplace price is $30. Now we have Restore Core Components by Concrete Japan, or Mackerel as they're now called. This is a sort of get out of jail free card, or actually get out of jail for $15 for anyone who has mistakenly used the dashboard to uninstall a core component. It can restore single pages that have been fully deleted, blocks that have been uninstalled, and on version 8 it also reinstalls core jobs. The marketplace price is $15. That's all from me, so it's over to Noor for the rest of this month's news.
Thank you, John. So our first package is Enlil Page List by developer Enlil. This is an advanced page list that does a lot of things the core page list block doesn't do. It lets you filter your page list by a lot of dynamic options that you will not find there. You can filter by, of course, pages, location, page type, extra, by date, by topics, by a number of attributes, checkbox attributes, select attributes, number attributes, user, children, number of children. So you can decide that you want, pages that have less than such a number of children or more, or extra keywords. The options are many. So you can, probably do pretty much everything you want with this. The package is $50. It is Concrete 9 ready. And it's also PHP 8 ready, which is pretty good. And it'll work as well with Concrete 8. Second package is Container Check by developer Don the Fish. So it's a very nice tool to have. It lets you see from the dashboard what your containers do. What your containers look like. So it will show you the design. It will show you the underlying HTML markup, and even the name of your areas in that container. So this will work only with Bootstrap 5 based themes. And obviously, since containers are a very new function, this is a Concrete CMS 9 version only. And last, another package by developer John the Fish, who's been very active this month. This is the Universal Content Pooler attribute that requires the Universal Content Pooler package. If you know it, it's a package that allows you to display data on pages, so you can, fetch data, decide how the data has to be displayed, and then display it. So what the attribute does is it lets you add an attribute to a page, grab some stored settings from Universal Content Pooler, and then they will be displayed on the page. So you can display them using the core attribute display block if you want, but you can use any other way you want. So you save your settings from a block or from the dashboard into UCP stored settings. Then you add the attribute to a page. The attribute lists all your stored settings. Select one, and then use whatever way you want to display it on the page, and it will display it the way it's supposed to. So this is a great little tool to have if you're using UCP and are a fan. It's $15 and it's version 9 ready. So that's it for this time. Thank you very much and stay safe. Talk to you next time. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Very cool stuff there. It's nice to see
Yeah, that's
things, kind of version 9 specific with the container stuff coming out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. I could see that being very, very useful.
Nice. All right. So, let's see. If there's any questions for this month, you should be asking them in chat so we can address them before we sign off here. And I just want to quickly do a little bit of a show and tell. We haven't always done this in recent town halls, but I think it's nice to add a good looking site to the guy. So let me bring this guy up, put us next to it. There you go. Bottomline.com is built with Concrete CMS. They are a business payments transformation company. It's a powerful thing. I think this basically is like software that does your accounts payable for you and kind of helps big banks and whatnot pay one another. So obviously security is pretty important, those types of folks. And big site, there's better part of thousands of pages in here. Nice looking design. They've got different regions. I think it's all in English in terms of like the words, but they're kind of using locales to deal with their different markets. Because I can switch over to APAC. And
Yeah, a lot of content to manage on this site.
different-
Looking
yeah,
through
yeah.
the resource hub.
Yeah, let's bring
Significant.
up that resource hub. They've got the content marketing going here. It's a really good looking site too. I believe designed by RawNet at this point, so nicely done. And these guys have used Concrete for quite some time. I've been hearing about Bottomline for many
That's a
years.
nice site.
So pretty cool, and yeah, worth having in your back pocket when someone's saying, "Well, show me a big,
This is nice.
sexy site that is built with Concrete." Apparently there's nothing that matches that. Let's see. Got some cool little search and sort stuff happening here. There you go. So you can check that out more on your own. But bottomline.com. There's also like half a dozen other domains that point to it and redirect in weird ways. So it's definitely one of those kind of corporate web presences that is a lot more complicated than it seems at a glance. But built with Concrete and beloved by those folks.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I don't see any particularly questiony questions here. I think we have been staying a bit more active in the forum, so I'm going to assume that means that Mike has just been banging out answers in real times in the forums. And if you've got something that you need us to give you an answer about, the forums is a good place to go. We're doing our best to make sure that every post there gets at least a little attention in a couple business days. So do that and keep trucking. Like Andy said, keep an eye out for 910 release candidate 1 the coming week, something like that.
Yeah, days, weeks,
And,
days probably.
These weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and beyond that, let's all get back to work. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
See you next month.